Good up.
This is channel 253.
On this episode of the Grit and Grain podcast.
So using these touchstones, what type of categories do you think that this is kind of falling into?
I drank all mine
I
already.
drank them. The
I
yummy
guess we'll have to open a
category.
second can of this delicious beer. Oh
Grit
no.
and grain.
Yep.
Channel 253 is member supported. I'm producer Doug Mackey, and I hope you will show your support by going to channel253.com/membership and join. Thank you.
Welcome to the Grit and Grain podcast, where we explore and celebrate the craft beer industry, community, and history in Tacoma, Washington, and surrounding Pacific Northwest areas. Thank you so much for hanging out. Let's get to it. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Grit and Grain podcast, coming to you guys from Peaks and Pints in Tacoma, Washington.
Hell yeah!
My name is Matt McLaren. Here, as always, with Ron Swarner.
Well, hello.
How's it going, Ron?
It's going great. Looks like a buffet.
It does.
Table.
I know. We have so much homework today. I'm so excited. Yeah, it's going to be a good day. Bethany, how's it going?
Great. How are you guys?
Good.
Good.
Yeah, it's been a good day. I've been, like, obviously, if you were paying attention to social media, we took a week off last week because Ron was super sick. Thanks for bringing it here. So we took an unusual sick day. However, we're coming back real strong with this one. So I'm very, very glad to announce our guest today. Doug's on mic too, actually, before I forget. How's it going, Doug?
Very well.
Good. I'm glad to hear it. I want to hear all your thoughts today because I feel like this is going to be.
Okay.
We haven't done anything like this yet, and I think you're agreeing to sensory stuff. So
I am
He's
agreeable to
nervous.
sensory
sweet.
stuff.
I'm so excited. So yeah, if you guys remember, we had a fantastic episode last year that went great, and everybody was super pumped about it. And I've been so excited to actually do a repeat of this guest. So our guest today is my friend Rikki Welz from Haas Farms.
Hi, Rikki.
How's it going, Rikki?
Hi. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be back. I had such a blast last year. I was so nervous, and I actually told my husband to not tell our friends what I was doing, so that they wouldn't like come up to the audience or anything. And this time, I'm like, I told him ahead of time. In fact, Matt was the one who told me to tell Matt that I should come back. And like, so I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I can do that. This is gonna be so much fun. So
Awesome.
Thank you.
Super glad you're back.
Yes.
We had it's probably the episode that we've gotten the most compliments on, or at least up there in like the top 3 or so. And this is like, people don't get a chance to hear from somebody who smells things for a living. And you do that. And, hops are such a huge part of what make beer enjoyable for so many people. And I think a lot of people kind of misunderstand some of the things that go into like how hops actually make it from the field to your glass, and what it takes to make sure that they actually taste good when they get there, which is what we're going to kind of talk about today. And I'm super pumped for it. Before we get into it, just want to say to everybody who's listening, thank you as always. If you're free on Wednesdays, please do come through and hang out live at Peaks and Pints. It's a lot of fun. You get to hang out and laugh with us live and drink beer. And today there's a bunch of like crazy sensory stuff in front of us, and you get to participate, which is always a good time. So do come out and hang out. We love it.
You could eat Skittles today.
You could be eating Skittles right now. And then if you haven't yet, please like and follow and do all that stuff. It really does help us. It really does help us get extra eyes and ears on the podcast, and we're hoping to do some of that this year. So if you haven't yet, like and follow and review and all that stuff. We love it and appreciate it. Yeah. What are we drinking right now? We all have varietal hop zip in front of us, which is their first, I think, iteration of a hop water, right?
I believe so. They might have had some on tap beforehand, but I definitely, I'll say 80% sure that this is their first time they have it canned.
Okay, sweet.
Yeah.
And we were like chatting a little bit about the difference between this particular hop water and other ones, and the difference is mainly a product that you help provide. So what is that?
Yes, I'm just going to go ahead and apologize for sounding like a corporate shill. However, this is something that I am incredibly proud of our team. Our R&D team at John I. Haas and Barth Haas are incredibly hardworking, and Hop Kick is the product that we released last August, I want to say.
Okay.
And so what it is it's a hop extract. However, this type of extract is water soluble, and really we find that it works best in non-beer or very light beer type applications. So Hop Kick is a true hop brand extract. So it's like we have Citra, we have El Dorado. I don't remember the other two that we have. I guess this is why I'm not in the marketing department.
I know, right? But they're based on actual hops.
Yes,
So you could just buy as hops.
Yeah, literally, yeah. So it's literally the hop pellets, and then we extract them in this special process. And this is clear and water soluble, and we put it in our energy drinks. We put it in our Pedialyte. We put it in hop waters. Like
You guys are just spooning stuff in your coffee.
That is exactly it. It was a micropipetter, actually. It's very potent.
Liquid, yeah. It's a liquid form. Yeah.
So
That's so cool.
It's
It is.
so
It's
cool.
crystal clear.
Yeah.
Which, if anybody drinks hop water out of a glass, you might notice it's foggy sometimes, and that could just be part of the production. But yeah, this is brilliant and clear.
Yeah.
I know we were comparing it to Lumberbeards, which I really love Lumberbeards hop water, and so far it's been one of my favorites because it is very like punchy, hop kicky, like reminds me of like a pretty green fresh hop. But then you get over to Varietal's Hop Zip, and it's like really delicate. The water profile is obviously like much softer and kind of rounder, and like in my head probably more like crowd pleasing. I imagine if you're not a huge beer drinker but you wanted to try something that was like hop incorporated, this is a really good place to start.
Absolutely.
Because there's nothing offensive about it at
Yeah.
all, and it's very, very nice.
Sweet, yeah. We really the part of the things that we really want to emphasize, at least at Haas, and at least in the Brewing Solutions team and our R&D team, is that hops can provide more than just beer flavor. Hops can provide actual flavor. So as you'll find out in this sensory exercise we're going to be coming up to next, hops have all the same things that like limes may have, or that other different like tropical fruits may have. They all have the same aroma and flavor compounds, but there's different ways that you can elicit it. And so we're used to, when it comes to hops in the beer industry, we're used to just like, it's either bitter or it's a in-your-face like grapefruit punch. Well, that's the thing, is that if you add a little bit of hops to, say, your kombucha, or you add some hops to a tea, or you add some hops to a water, there's so many other things that you can have that just makes it taste good. Like one of my favorite cider makers is Incline Cider.
Oh, yeah.
And
They're
he
great.
loves to put in hops. He uses hops as a flavor modulator. Instead of being hop forward, it just makes the flavor more like what he wants. And so I love that. It's so exciting.
Yeah, we were talking about like this similar idea about how fermentation kind of contributes to that a few episodes ago, like how sometimes it just punches up flavors that just exist already, and hops totally do that. It's like trying to capture an extra dimension of an ingredient. If you're making a lime water, but you add hops that are lime forward, or a hop product that is lime forward, you're getting more lime flavor. Like it's a better lime experience than just having the lime by itself.
Well, and oftentimes it makes it more natural too. So that's one of the things that we're finding, at least anecdotally, because like I said, we're literally putting Hop Kick into our Monsters energy drinks. And so
This is healthier now.
yeah, exactly. But like, especially if you go for like the sugar-free varieties, like there's this weird kind of like artificial sweetness that'll happen, or like artificial flavor, if you will. And Hop Kick adding in like a little bit of Citra into something that's a citrus forward, or El Dorado into something that's more of like a tropical fruit forward, it rounds out the flavor that we find to be a little bit more just natural tasting. It's not quite as in your face.
Sure.
Do you carry around a vial of it?
Hop Kick? I don't, but my boss Jeff definitely has in the past. Oh yeah.
Like on his utility belt?
Just in case he needs it.
Yeah. I mean, he's a sensory whiz.
It's
and
like his crystal white.
Exactly.
Is there any way it can go in coffee? Could it go?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like
Dude,
Hop Kicks,
totally.
I think people have tried using Hop Kick in coffee. I'm not sure what the full like performance is, but I believe in years past when they were first developing the product, they were just throwing it into everything because why
just
not?
to see. Yeah. I love
Especially
it.
like if you were to do like a mosaic, maybe that might be a fun one. Because like especially if you go for like more of like kind of the berry forward mosaics, that might be kind of a good idea.
Oh, totally.
Too.
Yeah, you'll have
Coffee,
like
coffee beans. Flavors too.
Ethiopian like single varietal will have like tons of blueberry flavor, and mosaic might be rich in that. And so if you like pump that up with like a mosaic extract that's like very delicate, that would be delicious.
Yeah.
$1 million idea. New cold brew, hop cold brew.
More coffee, more coffee, more coffee.
I love that. Is there, so I guess not to like dig too super hard into like hop cake, but is there a sustainability factor or benefit to using something like hop cake versus, finding the raw ingredient? Or is it mostly just to like add like an extra dimension to the use of the raw ingredient itself?
I think at the end, advanced hop products, kind of what we refer to like as most like extracts and stuff, there's going to be a built-in sustainability factor of just literally shipping. You don't have to keep it in like, it's like the idea of going from whole cone pellets to T90s is like a fraction of the size. And then going from that to different types of extracts is, again, a fraction of the size. So you need less refrigerator space. It costs a lot less to ship it, and it takes less gasoline per like pound, essentially.
Sure.
So I think there's definitely that. We're constantly working on different types of like waste valorization projects. So like, what are we doing with our spent hops in this way or that way? And the hops that we use for the extract for hop cake, we're researching ways on like, well, what else can we do now? So hopefully in the next like probably 5 years we can give you that answer, but it takes time, research.
We'll be in touch.
Yeah.
Nice.
Awesome. Well, yeah, we should. I feel like I already chugged my hop water, so I might crack one more beer.
Yeah. I want to do the crystal one.
I know, me too.
Yeah.
Okay. So we have a single hill beer in front of us that you said was canned yesterday.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is really cool. So when I knew I was coming up, every single brewery in the Yakima County are wonderful. Same with Kittitas County.
Totally.
However, I feel like a closer relationship with the folks at Single Hill and at Varietal in one way or another. Single Hill because I'm just there all the time during harvest. Varietal because Chris Baum is just really nice, and his wife Melissa I actually work with through Haas, because Haas is sister niece company. I don't really know how to describe it. Yakima Valley Hops.
Oh yeah.
Melissa is she's something, I don't know, like director of sales or marketing or something wonderful. She gets shit done. So
Sweet.
Melissa is the queen of getting shit done. And I just like them as people,
Totally.
And I like everybody else too. Like, I mean, Chris at Shorthead is great. I love the folks at Veilbreaker. Everybody's wonderful. But so
It's also
Single
named
Hill.
after a hop concept.
Which
Single
one?
Hill.
Yeah.
Single Hill. Well,
That's
Varietal
right.
too.
Yeah, right.
Yes, well, and actually, because I guess they have to harken back to the last episode so they can see what a single hill is.
Exactly.
Drive up those numbers.
You get us, Rikki. Thank you.
Number 34.
Totally.
Right?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think so, yeah. So I just sent it
34.
to one of my friends. But, okay, so this Single Hill, so I reached out to Tristan and Andrew at Single Hill because for two reasons. One, I wanted to see if Single Hill wanted to show anything, and then two, for a special project beer that we're going to taste next. But this one, what's it called?
Flavor crystals.
Flavor crystals.
Aptly named.
They canned it yesterday, and they said, hey, why not try this? And so it has Galaxy, El Dorado, and Azaka hops, which to me is all things that I like. I haven't had this beer yet, so if I'm quiet about it, it's terrible. No, I was kidding.
I've like said multiple times, we don't really talk about beer that we like don't really like. So yeah.
I was willing to take the risk because every single thing that Tristan has come up with
seriously.
has been wonderful. Yeah. He's so kind.
They've had 1,000, man.
Yeah, the amount of just effort he puts into his recipes and stuff, and same with Andrew. I've worked with Tristan and Andrew, and also Jake from Tandem Unicycle, who is based out of Single Hill. They're like the food truck. I've worked with them a few times now for different beer pairing events, and they all just take this stuff so seriously and
Very
with so much
deliberate
thought
in their work.
Yeah.
Which you can like totally taste in their beers. It's, we've gushed about them a lot on the pod, and they're very deliberate, and their beers are super expressive. They're like that, when they started really crushing at fresh hop season, I really think that was like the big difference, is that the composition of their beers was so dialed in. You didn't have like a mouthfeel that really conflicted with the actual flavor or aroma in any way. If you tasted ripe mango, you had like this same kind of like super pillowy, soft mouthfeel, and it matched everything so well. And I think they're so purposeful about how they compose their beers.
Exactly.
This is for sure a good example of that.
Speaking of pillowy mouthfeels and tropical fruit.
Seriously.
Oh my God.
Seriously.
Yeah. So let's tell us what you guys think. If you guys want, we could pass a can down to the audience too if you're wanting to try it. But sorry. Thank you so much.
Yeah, super pillowy, super delicious, and like very,
Ooh, actually.
It's really tropical up front, actually, and then does have a little bit of like orange marmalade-y thing right at the end from the Yazaka, which is like so good.
This made me think of like, I'm asking you questions without giving you some sort of terminology or touchstones to use. So in front of the people at the table, for listeners at home who won't see the pictures, I brought a whole bunch of shit. But
Agreed.
Yes. But one of the things I brought was our Hopsa sensory lexicon and our sensory touchstones. So this is kind of the language that we use at Haas to try to describe our hops and our beer. So sensory touchstones, especially, this has been developed where each touchstone, so each category, so floral, citrus, sweet fruit, spicy, blah, 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 we have touchstones so that people can kind of think of like, I'm not sure what I'm tasting, but this is what I'm thinking of. So if it tastes something very ripe or tropical or candy-like, chances are it will fall into our sweet fruit category. And then you can go into the Hopsa's lexicon where sweet fruit, what's it got in there? Peach, apricot, mango, passion fruit, lychee, guava, pineapple, melon, all sorts of melons. And it kind of goes from there. So
Grandma's even represented.
yes, yeah.
Floral.
Yep.
Where do you see grandma?
Wait,
Floral.
Yeah, on the floral.
Oh, word.
Yeah.
Perfumey.
Yeah,
like,
so for me, it's a wind song
Lovely
perfume.
lilac. I've always loved lilac.
Exactly. But yeah, so using these touchstones, what type of categories do you think that this is kind of falling into?
I drank all mine
I
already.
drank them. The
I
yummy
guess we'll have to open a
category.
second can of this delicious beer. Oh,
Grit
no.
and grain.
Yep. So at least
Always bring
tight.
two.
For people who have seen like the flavor wheel, this is it's like the principle is kind of the same. It's sort of to give you the actual like vocabulary of what you might be tasting. Sometimes olfactory memory and sensory stuff is so interesting, and that you might not understand what you're actually smelling or tasting until you see it or hear it said to you. Doug and I have been through this a couple of times. I'll say a really specific thing about a beer that we're smelling or drinking, and it'll be super random, like, oh, it smells like when you cut a tennis ball in half. And then he's like, holy shit, that's exactly what that smell is. And that's the idea, is olfactory memory doesn't quite kick in sometimes if you haven't trained it until you actually get like a cue for that thing. So when you're like, oh, this is floral, well, what kind of floral? Like, are you talking about dried jasmine, or are you talking about like a really specific like floral perfume? And so having the touchstones here, I assume, gives you guys, it kind of reduces your mental stack a little bit and kind of gives you more of the, gives you a little bit more flexibility in your vocabulary when you're coming up with sensory notes.
For sure. Yep, exactly. And also, one of the things that you'll notice, especially for folks in the audience, if you have more of an experience in beer sensory, we do not have off flavors in our lexicon because the way we test our hops is very intense. So the problem with hop breeding, or actually the very exciting part about hop breeding, is that hops can produce butter flavor. Hops can produce a very woody barrel-aged flavor. Hops can produce flavors that are green apple. Hops can produce all sorts of just magic. And so we don't want our panelists to think of any sort of flavor as off.
Yep.
We just want them to recognize the flavor they're recognizing and go from there. So there is a group of us at Haas. So I'm on the Brewing Solutions team. So we've got the folks who run the research brewery, the very pretty one you might see on YouTube, for example. We have our Nano Brewery, which is another brewery that's not quite as pretty, but it's very wonderful. We have the sensory team and just all sorts of folks. And so on that team, most of us actually do have training in beer off flavors, but our process is pretty well cinched. And if we do find, like, I mean, the worst case scenario happens, like a fermentation gets stuck or something. So we will, we might discuss amongst ourselves, hey, is this butter from the beer or is this butter from the hops? Let's do a side by side.
What a tough distinction to have to make. Jesus.
It's happened like maybe once since I've been there. So.
That's
and
good.
I've been there for over 2 years now. So I think we're doing pretty good. But so yeah, it's a little different than just like plain old like beer sensory. We're missing like a lot of malt lexicon, for example.
Totally.
That we probably will be building up soon, just because people are having fun with hops. They're putting their hops in their kombuchas. They're putting hops in their dark beers that are like actually using for hop flavor instead of just bitterness. So a lot of fun things.
Nice.
I'm like taking huge whiffs and kind of going through this. Like tropical comes up a lot, right? But then I do like the finish to me is very much like Azaka is known for like this kind of orange marmalade-y sort of
Citrus,
character,
yeah, that's
like
what I'm
almost
getting.
like candied citrus. Like I get some of that at the end, but up front it's almost like star fruity and like almost a little bit of white grape at the beginning. And
Azaka for me has either you'll find oftentimes my poor boss, like I believe a more refined palate than average. However, it's out as I've gotten older, I've gotten more sensitive to certain sulfurs. And so to me, Azaka usually pulls out a tomato leaf. And if it's not, if it's gentle, it's tomato leaf. As soon as it starts getting stronger and stronger, it goes into a tire store. And so I have
Tire
that.
store.
Yeah. So
Interesting.
it's a light kind of at the end for me. It's like, oh, I just walked out of Les Schwab and I'm all happy. Like it's still like a
Brand new
pleasant thing.
tires on my car.
yeah, totally.
Yeah, so it's like it's still very pleasant, but this is one of the things about our sensory panel and panels in general is that everybody's going to have their own sensitivities. Like we have a person who is super sensitive to like 23 out of the 25 bittering compounds. So we know for a fact that like when we're asking bitterness rating, he's always going to say 10, and that's fine. But everything else that he writes down into text, that was perfectly wonderful. So everybody has their strengths and weaknesses, and
Totally.
for
Do you
me,
ever,
it turns
do you
out
ever
it's that.
hear that Galaxy produces peanut butter flavor?
Peanut butter. Yeah, I've heard that off and on. I'm not really as certain into like what's happening with that. There's like, I know HPA has worked. So HPA is another kind of daughter, niece, sister company of Haas. And they've worked very hard over the past few years to try to figure out, okay, well, what is causing that? What's happening in our growing practices, in our blending practices and stuff like that. They had a very pretty violin chart to show us last year to show how they're getting rid of the peanut butter, but I haven't really had that much experience, honestly, with HPA hops, because for sensory purposes, we've only really on John I. Haas' side has really started diving into it as a sensory team officially in like the last year or so. Yeah, because beforehand it's really
Ron's got a Galaxy beer
HPA
on
gets
right
us
now
stuff.
where he's like,
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck's going on here.
I always taste peanut butter.
You always
Do
taste
you?
peanut
That's so
butter.
interesting. I didn't
Yeah.
know that.
Yeah.
We've never talked about that. That's so interesting.
There's an American hop that sometimes leans peanut butter as well. That is just kind of like, I have no idea what's happening there. It's like we need our organic chemists, like Dr. Julia Jennings is one of our research scientists at John I. Haas, and we just need to have her break it down on the GCMS or something.
Could it be something that some people taste and some people don't? Because I love peanut butter. I would love some
Like,
peanut
this is-
butter in my IPA. I
Is
never
Galaxy
tasted.
hops the cilantro of the hop world?
Right. Like, I don't
just-
know. Just a thought.
But that's the thing about Australian hops is that to me it kind of feels like maybe it is the cilantro of the hop world, because like for some folks, like they say they don't like certain Australian hops or New Zealand hops or some of the new hops that are coming out from breeding programs in America.
Sure.
There's some of these weird flavors that are coming out, right? So like the Talus, for example, to me tastes like a rotting leaf pile mixed with potpourri. So good and bad.
What a pretty picture.
Yeah. So, but hey, that's what I get. And then other
Also
people
grandma.
though. And yeah, so great. Exactly. Yes.
That's exactly what that is.
Yes.
Jesus, Ron.
Yeah, it's
Quite
very
the visual.
good. So it's kind of one of those things where it's like, is there something that is happening that some people are very sensitive to that other people are not? And now we're really kind of, because we're playing so hard and so deep with all these different hop varieties, maybe it is something that some of us are more sensitive to than others. It's a really cool question that hopefully we can research, because there's always so many more questions that beer will always bring up. As soon as you know something, you learn that you don't know 3 other things. And
Oh,
so,
man, that's so
yeah.
fucking true. I hate it. Doesn't matter how hard I work.
Tomato leaf.
Tomato leaf is
yeah.
such a good call. And I like, now that you said it, I can't get tire store out of my brain.
Sorry, yeah.
I don't
It's
go
like
that
definitely
far,
not an
but
off
tomato
flavor.
leaf
It's
for
just me.
sure.
Yeah, no, it's not that strong, but like tomato leaf.
Tomato
like,
leaf for sure.
Yeah,
tomato
that's
leaf
like
for
a
sure.
super on point. And I get, so like some sulfur compounds, have that kind of like almost not burnt rubber, but like for sure like this kind of rubbery character.
Yeah.
Sometimes like when it's even stronger than that, it'll come off to me like a match that you just blew out. Like that's like very sulfidic. Like sulfur hydroxide does that. Whereas like hydrogen sulfide is more like eggy sulfur compound.
Yeah.
So maybe it's like a low threshold of something like that might, could turn into something very unpleasant. But
Yeah.
as it is, it's, It is. It's still lovely.
Yeah, it definitely happens on the intake table quite a bit too. So when we're doing intake, so again, refer back to episode 34. During intake, there's a group of us that are spelling hops over and over again all day, right? And I've gotten to the point now where I just know for a fact if somebody says bubble gum, I'm going to smell like some weird cheese. And it's just like, sorry guys, like this is...
There's just a synapse in your
Yeah,
brain
just
now.
goes
That's just
that way,
like,
yeah.
yeah.
And so like it's just like, okay, I guess my threshold is like has gotten lower and lower over the years, and
Interesting.
it is what it is.
I do the same thing, Ron, when we're trying beers together and you say peanut butter, and I don't get peanut butter, but I get something immediately when you say it. I'm like, it's not peanut butter, but it's that galaxy
But it's
flavor
something
that
else.
I
Yeah.
always get.
Almonds.
I'm looking at the categories. So the cream caramel
Yeah.
is interesting. Like some of these descriptors I actually describe as malt characteristics, like in beer. Besides like the coconut vanilla is like a Sabro.
Yeah.
What other hops are giving like toffee, caramel, honey, yogurt? What other what hops are
Definitely more of
giving
the
us?
experimentals, the ones that have the great big long numbers.
Okay.
That aren't necessarily like named yet. But honey has come up in oftentimes like the cream and the yogurt, the honey, all have come up actually in like different intakes of like Sabro or 1019 or what's another one? There was one that was 480 something. I don't think it's HBC 472 was from the hop breeding company. It's our joint venture with Yakima Chief Ranches, which crazy, like, hey, let's start a company with our main competitor.
Sweet.
The
We're
beer
all
industry.
friends.
Yeah, beer world. Yay.
Yeah, oh, yeah, exactly. And the hop industry is even more friendly than that. Like literally, we'll call our friends that over there and like, hey, you guys want to go get beers? And like, just it's
That's
cool.
awesome.
It's so rad.
I love it.
So HBC 472 also kind of has some of these like more intense,
Sweet stuff.
yeah, the
kinda.
sweet stuff and like the toffee. I swear we had a toffee on one. Right now we're going through at work. It's been very busy for the last month or so because we're right now doing a very fast-paced kind of go no go panel of a bunch of experimental hops. So they have the great big long numbers that I can't mention on TV because whatever, or podcast.
Yeah.
We're on TV. Hi, Mom. These during this high throughput, we're going to be evaluating. I think by the end of it, 110 or 120 different hops, which is mostly a go no go. But we do have category intensities, which we'll go into in a second, where we might pick up some of those really weird flavors like the toffee and stuff. And we're fairly certain that it's not the brewing because it's one brew that's then split into 30 different little like beers at a time. And so if toffee happened in every single one, then we would know, okay, that's
the hop.
That's the beer.
Yeah.
And then if it's not, if it's only in the one, then we know that's the hop.
Oh,
Yeah.
I see.
It's really
Awesome.
cool.
That is cool.
It's so cool.
Do you find any kind of, because like to me, I'm on Bethany's side here, where like those to me are like standouts, sort of like I would never expect to see those in like hop. Like hop sensory lexicon, but all the hops that you mentioned that come through with those are usually newer ones, either ones that haven't been named or ones that were named pretty recently. Is there some consistency between hops that might be considered less developed in terms of like their breeding and these kind of like wild card aromas, like all these brand new hops having these unusual sort of unusual aromas, or is that just like
You
of
want
just
to rephrase that? Sorry, I'm a little.
yeah, so like you have newer hops that
Yeah.
are still kind of what I would consider newly developed, maybe not as highly developed because they're not even named yet, or they might just be recently named, all coming through with kind of these like wild card sensory attributes. And is that do you find any consistency with brand new hops being introduced that have these kind of wild card sensory cues?
I
or
don't
is that
know
just
about the true like market research of like what's really coming out, but anecdotally and gut reaction, I would say yes.
Yeah.
Because everybody's looking for the new flavor. Everybody's
Sure.
looking for the new. I mean, like we're never gonna have lightning strike again like we did with Citra and Mosaic, for example.
Yeah.
But we're gonna try. But then also, I think that's part of it too. Is like the beer drinker nowadays is not just a beer drinker. The beer drinker also is having kombucha at home. The beer drinker is having the waters or having the teas. They're having so many more options, and they're so much more open to more flavors that breeding these hops that have these more flavors might give us a leg up one day to use those hops as flavors for whatever beverage or even food that they're having.
sure?
Matt, may I ask you a question?
Of course.
Is this a two-part episode?
No, but it probably should be.
Yeah.
Because it's break time.
Okay.
Well, because there's so much going on.
I know there's so much.
We haven't even touched the Skittles.
Which we are going to touch the Skittles and the sensory intensity.
Skittle. Don't eat
Sensory
it. Don't
intensity.
eat it.
Yeah, just touch. Hang out. Let us take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Hi, this is Eric Hanberg of Channel 253, and I want to thank you for listening to this podcast and all of the podcasts that we have in the network.
Yeah, this is producer Doug echoing that thanks and also saying that if you would like to support us with a membership, please go to channel253.com/membership and join. It's $4 a month or $40 a year, and it pretty much is the sole reason that we can come to you now with podcasts.
We are listener supported. You can help keep the microphones running. $4 a month, $40 a year. Channel253.com/membership if you want to check it out. And again, if you are a member, thank you.
Welcome back, everybody. Thanks for hanging out during the break. I know you heard it during the break, but a quick shout out to Doug and to Channel 253. We love Doug. He makes us sound awesome every week.
Cheers.
Yay, Doug.
Cheers.
Please do support Channel 253. It's a fantastic network of podcasts. We joked around about it being election time, and that would have hurt so bad. We joked around about it being election time, and if you want info on the people who are making decisions for you and your community and the city, Channel 253 is a great way to get the info on those folks in a very efficient manner. So yeah, please do go support them. Okay, so we were chatting during the break, and I had a question that I have always wanted to ask you. So like in the wine world, there's like these diplomatic terms that like mean a specific thing that would sound rude if you told the person who made the wine. But like a famous example is like if you smell like cat pee in a wine, which is a very common, very, very common thiol. If you smell it, you wouldn't say cat pee, you would say like black currant bud. Is there anything on the hop side where like if something just smells like absolute dog shit, what is the diplomatic sensory word that you would use?
That's definitely a very good question. So 3MH, I believe, is what that caddy category is. I don't remember the true organic chemistry term for it. I'm so sorry, but
Pimenthane 8-thiol, or no, pimenthane 8-thiol 3-1.
Yeah. Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my man.
That's wonderful.
Note cards and ADD, baby. All right.
Perfect. So that is actually very common in hops as well. And this is something kind of fun that is interesting that we deal with working at John I. Haas is that. So we have sister companies or a version of Haas at Barth Haas somewhere in the world. So they're in China, they're in the UK, they're in Germany, they're in Australia, they are in Yakima as well. And we're all trying to use the same lexicon so that we all have that unified language. However, our experiences in America are a lot different than experiences in, say, Germany, where black currant is used as a part of a jam or as a juice.
Just like a normal food.
Yeah, it's just a normal kind of food that isn't necessarily as uniquely strong as it is to Americans, because Americans will smell black currant if we don't have that much experience with it. It's like, well, it smells like cat pee. And so,
Totally.
That's a black currant or catty. It's just kind of is what it is. And so it's a difficult thing that we're constantly going back and forth on like, hey, can we get rid of this but add this? And it's like, well, can we though? Because like we had in our floral category osmanthus for a long time, and currently it's not in there.
Sounds like a Marvel villain.
What is that? Yeah.
I know, right? It's a type of flower, but it's mostly in China. And so like our Chinese market, like osmanthus is definitely something that would count, right? But for us, like, we just don't have that experience with it. So currently, I'm not sure if it's on the Barth Haas lexicon. I believe our lexicon, the one that you guys are looking at, I think there is a couple other things that are different than the ones that our German team is using. I'm not sure what about our other teams are using, but so we constantly have discussions about this. And when I'm training my panelists too, sometimes it's what's the word? So rosemary and sage are in two different categories for us. Really? Rosemary is in our herbal category and sage is in the menthol category. And it's really hard for folks because rosemary and sage oftentimes are paired together in cooking, especially in America.
Yeah, in songs.
Right.
Oh, yeah. And with some, actually, parsley, sage, and rosemary are just two different categories. I think thyme is also in the herbal category. So, so parsley, rosemary, and thyme are in the herbal category, and sage is in the menthol category. So we have to train our panelists to do side by side and start talking about different relationships that they have in common to each other. So part of that is we use actually what's called the Hop Aroma Standards Kit. Again, corporate shill. I apologize. But I am proud of this product. So what it is that we have created literally chemical aroma standards that are representative of each category. So we use this very heavily for our training to show people, okay, floral. We were talking about floral as a category. Kind of think of this. And if you're thinking of menthol as a category, think of this. If you're thinking of herbal as a category, think of this. So when I'm training my panelists, I'll literally have up on a whiteboard like menthol versus herbal, and then rosemary versus sage. And it's like, okay, let's start associating more things. So sage has, I'm sorry I didn't bring any fresh sage, but sage has...
How dare you?
I know. I didn't bring anything. But sage has that same type of cooling effect that happens oftentimes in our menthol category. So, I mean, like, I'm not sure if everybody else grew up in an area that's very heavy in sage, like Eastern Washington. So sage, I have very much like, to me, that kind of cooling and that zip and that burn was easier to go into the menthol category than some other folks who are more exposed to sage with rosemary in their food. And so they just associate it with, say, like a term like savory, for example.
Oh, sure. Which is probably that would be my instinct, honestly.
Yeah, absolutely. So sometimes it's just kind of like, okay, let's build stronger relationships away from each other. But then also sometimes it's just like route memorization. If you know it's sage, make sure you write menthol. If you know it's rosemary, make sure you write herbal. You know, there's kind of a back and forth thing.
So is the standards kit, is the idea that like this is the aromas that are expressed here are representative of the overall category of like just and then you kind of break it down from there? Is that the idea? Okay.
Yeah.
So you're kind of training your pathways to identify the category with the standards kit, and then you're breaking it down after you find the open door, so to speak.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
So you guys want to do some lime stuff?
Yeah, let's do some lime stuff.
Wait, before we're done, we were drinking Dally and Spear by the Dally
How do we
and
not
Spear
even
Project.
talk about this?
We were talking about how Tristan is wonderful and handsome,
He is.
and just all the things.
He is
Sorry,
the most
ladies,
handsome.
he's taken, but not by me.
I was like, what?
It's like, okay, I'm like saying a lot of things about him that sound weird, so I might as well just double down.
I'll double down with you. Tristan's
Exactly.
awesome,
Yeah,
man.
Tristan's awesome, but my Paul is better. Okay, so anyway, so we were drinking the Dally and Spear Project, and this was another one that was literally canned yesterday.
I love it.
This one is a 2 of Cones West Coast IPA with Mosaic, Simcoe, and Nelson Sauvin. And for me, it's the Nelson and Simcoe. I'm sensitive to whatever's in Simcoe. Simcoe always goes straight to like kind of like a sharp kind of flavor. So like I get like a white wine grape, I get a little bit of green onions, I get a little bit more of those just kind of like it's sharp in like the sides of my tongue. Sorry,
Okay.
I'm just gonna start getting really weird with it.
Do it.
Please
Please.
do too, because
Do it.
once we start talking about the lime stuff, it'll get really strange. But yeah.
Which hop is the DS hop?
Say it again.
The dog shit hop. Which one is that?
I was like, wait,
yeah.
what?
Yeah, so that was one of the high alphas. So we were talking about during the break, like, how do you describe a hot that literally smells like shit? And
Can I leave that in, or do I need to bleep that out?
Oh, yeah, no, you're good. You're totally good. Because high alphas are only used for bitterness, so this has not been used for any sort of flavor whatsoever, and it does not translate.
I like the
we've
beer.
checked.
I like
we
the
actually,
beer.
like, we're like, if it does smell like shit, like, what do we do? You know, like, yeah. But it's being used for high alpha. It's extracted. It's fine.
It's fine.
Yeah.
All those volatiles are gone.
They're gone. Yeah, no, the high alphas are always an interesting time because we try really hard not to smell them too much because it's just going to burn us out and it's just not worth it. People
Totally.
are buying them for that. There's some high alphas early in the season that are harvested for flavor, but so then we'll do the full sensory breakdown and we'll make sure like whether or not we want to even recommend using them for that. But this was like a late season CTZ in like October, and it literally came in. It smelled like, this smells like fresh horse shit. Like I don't like how do we break this down? You know, like what do we do? But fresh.
Yeah. I mean, if you think about it, it's just like, oh, it's that's dried hay, or like it's not it's not like the weirdest thing to smell in a hop.
Yeah.
But yeah, sometimes it just hits you in a way you're like, oh, this is
processed hay.
Yeah, it's processed hay.
Yeah.
this is is digested. Hey,
Yeah, it's earthy.
it's and there's that lexicon diplomacy.
There's some cream caramel and earthiness to this.
Oh my goodness.
All right. So the other thing that I brought, like before we get too crazy, I brought 2 different like specific exercises for us. One is line scaling. One of the hardest parts for folks that want to be like the next level of sensory is understanding intensities. And intensity training for panels is actually the hardest thing to train on. It's a constant work, it's a constant effort. It's totally okay if you can't decide if it's low, medium, or high, because in the end, you're eating and drinking, right? You know, like, it's just kind of like, well, I don't know, my body just wants me to consume. That's what matters, right?
Right.
So it's totally okay if this is hard to understand. So the top line of the scale is called OHAI. So that's our internal term for overall hop aromatic intensity. But really, we use it for overall aromatic intensity. But we say OHAI because it sounds cooler.
Sure.
So, yeah. And we're a hop company, so I guess we should probably
Represent
use the word
that.
hop whenever possible. So as a person who's wearing a hop sweater and hop earrings, and then I got hops
That
on
you
my
made.
tattoos.
You made that sweater.
Yeah, I did it. Yeah.
That's dope.
That's amazing.
Thanks. So OHAI. So this entire scale is like basically, if you're like just say drink the Dalian's beer that we're drinking right now, you could talk about first like the aromatic intensity on a scale of 0 to 10. Where would you put that? So I recommend if you have a pen, make a mark on what your aromatic intensity is. So it's not the flavor, just the aromatics. And where you make your mark, write down the number that you think that mark represents.
All right, I'm in there.
Write down the number it represents.
Yep.
1 to 10.
1 to 10.
Okay.
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 All right, I'm
Now
in there.
I have a ruler.
Oh.
Watch yourself, Ron.
Can I look
What
at
do your
Matt's?
knuckles look like?
She meant his knuckles. She meant his knuckles.
Yep.
Thank you, ma'am. May I have another?
Yes.
Easy.
Okay, so on the ruler is a 10 centimeter scale that you see on your paper. Write down what your measurement is on that same line on what that number you wrote down.
Write down what you're. Okay. So like what?
Yeah, so you
What-
wrote down the value that you ranked it at.
Yep.
Now you're going to write down the measurement it's at.
Got it. Okay. So we're really just guessing what centimeter. Like.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
And so the idea is to like couple. I see what you're. Yeah, I see. Couple the idea of like visual representation of intensity.
Yeah.
I see.
So this
I
kind of
can get
goes
it over
into sensory evaluation is like the best for anybody who is really interested in learning theory. Sensory evaluation and sensory training is like the perfect application of so many things because scaling usage is hard for humans. We kind of,
Yeah.
everybody just wants to go to the middle in the end, right? So we have to train ourselves on, did you go to, did you, oh, look at you. You're just,
Did
you
Bethany
already
nail
know.
it?
She
Of course she did.
That's awesome. Some people have a really easy time with it. Some of us don't, and that's fine. When we're training our panelists, we're constantly exposing them to like limes over and over, rosemary over and over, aniseed or something, and just all sorts of just things to get them comfortable with that. But then also there's this exercise that of the scaling and actually measuring out your scale to see, well, you need to kind of start stretching your brain. So OHAI for us, one of the things that we do is we actually have reference standards for the scale of 1 to 10. We have a reference standard that's for about a 1 to 2. We have a reference standard for that's about a 5, and we have a reference standard that's about 7 to 8. So we use that for our panelists as a version of basically a calibration. So if you've ever calibrated a pH meter, for example, that's usually what I tell my panelists because a lot of them are in the quality or have a lab background. And I just say, okay, let's calibrate our OHAI meters. And so, because really every day, every minute of the day, you're going to have a little bit different kind of interaction with the world, right? Everybody's going to kind of have I'm having a 3-day. Everything is just kind of muted, or I don't feel very well.
Sure.
So certain aromas are going to be way stronger than usual versus others. So these calibration standards, they come from was it sensory and evaluation techniques from Mylagard and somebody else. I didn't write that down either. Sorry. This has been studied actually quite a bit. So it's the low standard is canola oil, the medium standard is applesauce, the high standard is orange juice. And so we just kind of have people that are like, okay, in comparison, so I just ranked this beer, say a Bodhisattva, to the orange juice. They're pretty much the same. So I'm going to say it's an 8 OHAI. But maybe I didn't smell the orange juice at first, and I just smelled the Bodhi. I'm like, oh, it's like a 5. And then I smell the Bodhi next to the orange juice, and oh, wait, I need to bump myself up.
Yeah.
So these types of things are the practices that we're having our panelists go through to make sure that they're all kind of performing the same and giving really consistent feedback so that we know that our hop evaluations and our hop product evaluations are as consistent as possible so that hopefully the general public agree with us. So...
that is so much.
Dude.
It's amazing.
It's so much. Yeah, it's crazy. Okay,
That's amazing.
So let's do the fun thing. Let's eat some limes and then let's rub some hops.
Sick.
Oh, wait, do we have time? Where are we at on time?
We absolutely have time.
We have time? Okay.
It's almost time for rubbings.
Oh, okay, cool. So,
Give me the ruler back.
God damn it.
How many panelists do you have each year?
ooh, that's a really good question. Never enough.
Ballpark.
Yeah. Never enough is going to be the number one answer. I think every sensory scientist is going to say, I never have enough sensory panelists. Right now, we have about 30 people that are trained that we are willing to, like, fully accept their data. Sometimes we might have to be like, say the person that's very sensitive to bitterness, we don't accept his bitterness data. Somebody like me who's just sensitive to sulfurs. If I'm saying one thing and everybody else is saying something else, they'll just go ahead and kick that out.
I love the idea that there's like a group of people that you don't fully trust. Like, oh, Carl, he's full of shit like 9 times out of 10. you're like, there's only 30 people of the 160 that come through.
No, it's like we have 30 people and then we have less than that actually show up. But that's the thing though, is that even if that person is full of shit, if he brings in 3 of his friends on a consistent basis, I don't care, show up. Like, I will give you all the tips. I will give you all the incentives. Please
So
show.
what's the room like?
So we have a booth. We have a special booth room. Okay, the thing about sensory booths is that they're generally in a glorified closet, kind of like depending on where you're at. So ours is in our tap room.
Like my room when I was a kid.
I mean,
Sorry.
you're Louise Belcher.
I'm kidding.
Yeah.
We haven't gone into your dark psychology for quite a few episodes.
I'm kidding.
So, yeah, but we want it to be as controlled as possible. So we have like a controlled airflow. We have lighting that's controlled. We can do like red lighting and stuff. And there's actually specific booth kind of setups. Like I don't think ours is ISO 9000, but there's actually different types of regulations that are set up for sensory booths to be like truly consistent. But then, so our booth room, we have 6 booths, and folks can just go in. Basically, we have a set amount of time that they can come in and out, so we know that the beer is already there, and we are there to pour the beers for them. But they have, it's like a little pass-through chute, and we have little iPads that they're typing on and stuff. Nice. And we can control it to red light if we want to, and yeah, it's neat. It's just right there in the Innovation Center. It's beautiful.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Okay, so
we have a bunch of lime stuff in there.
Before us, we have a bunch of lime stuff. So Matt and I were talking beforehand about kind of talking about the differences between, say, a candied version of a fruit versus a dried version versus whatever. So that actually kind of touches into something that we do at our hop flavorist course. And Shay Maloney, one of our brewing solutions specialists, she gives a lecture on artificial flavors. So the thing with artificial flavors is that sometimes they're actually very natural. Sometimes they're completely different, right? So for some sense memory for everybody at home, artificial cherry, so something that's found in cough syrup. So benzaldehyde.
Yeah.
That artificial cherry flavor is usually derived from apricot pits, or peach pits, basically. They will take that because it's found in not really cherries anymore, but it's found in these different pits, and so they'll extract that when they're harvesting the peaches and apricots and whatever to for their other uses. They'll harvest that extract itself. So a lot of artificial flavors have those names because chemists in like the 1850s literally sat around passing around a jar of chemical and saying like, what does it smell like? Oh, it smells like cherry. Okay, cool, artificial cherry.
Wow.
That's it. And so there's a compound called strawberry aldehyde. Guess what's not in strawberries and what is not an aldehyde? Strawberry aldehyde. Like
Seriously, dude?
it's crazy. So all these
Men are
flavors.
idiots.
Yeah. So when you think about like artificial flavors, oftentimes like there's different ways that they have the artificial flavor like bumped up or whatever. But then also kind of goes into organic chemistry, which again is not my strong suit. So I'm going to pre-apologize for any misstated terms. But so in front of us, for the folks at home, we have a few different versions of lime. So we have sliced limes. We have Skittles that are lime flavored. I made sure to check the bag, and it's lime flavored, not the green fruit or not the green apple, because there's two different types of green Skittles.
Totally.
There is this like jellied lime thing,
Like a
and
lime
then
gummy.
yeah,
Yeah.
and then a Tootsie Roll fruit chew lime fruit roll. So, off the top of your head, if you were to describe lime to somebody who's never had a lime before, what would you say?
Oh, Jesus.
Sour.
Ooh, good.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Sour.
Sour. Like sharp.
Tart.
Sharp would come to my head
Sharp.
as like a descriptor. Lime.
I mean, they're a little sweet.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Those are those.
Yeah,
yes,
no,
sweet
that's
and
totally
sour.
good. Totally.
Yeah.
Can you say tropical?
Tropical, sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like depending on your association and when you've been exposed to lime. Oftentimes in our panel training, there's usually a few people when they have limes that are either thinking of margaritas or they're thinking of Coronas. Yeah. Actually, it very much
brain
is.
immediately.
Yeah. So there's these other associations that you have in your brain. So let's start with the lime Skittles.
Sweet.
I've been waiting for this all day.
So on your picture of lime in your brain, where do these Skittles fit and where do they separate?
Like if you're talking about like a scale, like if you're talking about a scale and like lime is 10 and
Not tart.
yeah, because they're not very tart and they're not very sharp. They're on the sweet side. Yeah.
Is there any sort of other flavors that the Skittles are bringing you that you don't find in a lime?
Grassy.
Grassy. Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah, like sugar, sweetness,
Waxy.
like honey. I would
Honey.
think about like honey.
Cool. Okay.
Starts off strong.
And then it kind of weakens
Then
down.
it weakens, yeah.
Yeah.
To
Okay.
sugar.
Just to, yeah, just to
Yeah.
sugar.
Let's try a bit of that Tutti Frutti or the Tootsie Roll. Sorry.
Yeah.
Waxy.
This one to me, yeah, it's like waxy, but this one actually has like a touch of like vanilla almost in it. So like it feels like a lime dessert rather than just like a lime and sugar
Shoe
thing. yeah.
polish.
Shoe polish. Okay.
Lime shoe polish.
Yeah.
And did you say
Yeah.
lime sherbet? Lime sherbet. Yeah.
Oh,
How
good
about the
call.
folks that got the tables over there? What are you guys calling out? This one. Oh, you're trying right now. Okay.
Like emollient.
A molly?
Emollient.
Yeah.
Emollient,
Oh, I was
yeah.
like,
Kind of lotiony.
Yeah.
Like, stuff you clean your dashboard with in your
Yeah.
car.
Well, it
Oh, I
goes
didn't even
with
think
like
about
that
that. That's
kind of waxy
interesting.
character too. I bet there's something kind of in there. Cool.
totally.
A creaminess that isn't common to the real fruit. Okay.
Almost turpentine.
Turpentine. Okay.
Oh yeah, which kind of lines
New
up
car
with the cleaning
taste.
thing.
New car taste. That's a good one. All right. So
we
then
going
let's go
jelly
into
fruit?
the jelly fruit. This one's like straight mint for me.
This is minty,
Is this supposed to be minty? I thought it was lime. Hold on, let me read.
No, it's lime.
and it even has
Yeah.
like the.
Oh, wait, wrong one.
Chlorine. Like a pool.
Oh dang, good call.
Chlorine, yeah.
Like an earache.
Jeez. It smells like an
Medicine-y.
earache.
Yeah, medicinal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can feel that. Yeah. Yeah.
No, it does.
Yeah, it's like furniture polish.
A furniture
Oh,
polish.
word.
Ooh, so pine
Pledge.
solly kind of pledge. Okay.
Pledge, yeah.
All right. Now.
I feel like we're just talking shit about a bunch of lime candies.
Yeah. Now.
Actually, like oil, like what's the oil stuff
yeah,
you put
yeah.
on your floor?
Yeah.
The oil,
Like the Henry's oil
the
type of
stuff
stuff.
you clean hardwood floors. Like
Yeah.
oil hardwood floors.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Take a bite of your lime.
What the fuck is this? It doesn't taste anything like lime.
Right.
Wow.
I know it's same. I can eat a full lime all the time. Sorry for anybody who's too strong.
I'm dying. I'm choking.
Yeah, it's lovely.
Okay. So now we're actually having the lime that we after all the other things. If
Right.
you want to go back and forth now, I mean, granted, you had a bunch of sugar before biting into a lime, so the sourness is going to be a little extra. The bitterness is going to be a little extra. From the other three varieties of lime, what would you say is most lime-like?
Gosh, that's a good question.
Skittle.
The Skittle, actually, yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
What would it be for you?
I guess I thought it was the gummy at first, but now that I've actually had the lime, the sort of like cleaning solution character you guys were getting in the gummy is way more apparent actually after like taking a bite of lime. So yeah, maybe I'm just like recalibrating.
Yeah, so, I mean, granted, I didn't give you guys, like, breaks in between or instruct you to, like, drink some water or eat some crackers or
Sure.
anything. So it's definitely going to change the way you're going to be perceiving this. But it's an excellent exercise just to kind of think, like, how artificial flavors are added in or whatever. We also have to drink, if you want to go hard. There's
Bring it
pure
on.
lime juice from Santa Cruz. We have the key lime juice from, what was it called? The Nelly and Joe's famous Key West lime juice. Honestly, whatever.
Key lime is on the right, lime juice is on the left.
That's definitely the key lime I can recognize now.
Yeah.
Awesome. Need a tequila shot to balance that out.
I just love lime juice. I'll squeeze it on the crackers and see
The
that.
key lime stuff is really good, actually.
Does the key lime flavor play into any of those candies?
Quite a bit,
Vanilla.
but maybe because it's more dessert, like vanilla. Yeah, like that's what I feel like in the key lime. But it's maybe because I mostly associate it with a dessert dish, and so when I have something sweet like that's lime flavored, it just feels like key lime.
Yeah.
Key lime tastes like Florida when I lived in Florida.
It tastes like senior frogs.
Makes sense.
Are these good descriptors, Ricky?
Actually, yeah.
It's like
I
senior
can't use any of this
frogs.
shit.
That key lime is unmistakable.
Yeah. I honestly, like, all of these are good things because all we're trying to do is build that lime profile for you. So once you go in, because like hops are hops and beer are both very complex when you think about it, because hops aren't just, you know, was it beta pinene and limonene and some other stuff that are compounds that are in it. It's so much more than that, right? There's the plant matter. There's other aromatic compounds that are making it be what it is. So beer is the same way. So beer, as you know, like when you go to have a beer, it takes a while to kind of think about, like, well, what does it taste like? What am I getting? So building that association with just lime as a family can really help you key in once you come to it and actually smell the lime later on or in whatever else. What time is it? You guys want to smell some hops or you want to take a break?
Whatever.
You're good?
Hop time.
Hop
You got time
time?
for hops?
All
Yep.
right.
We're gonna skip fuck up stories and just smell some hops.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. So today I did not bring any HBC hops. I did not bring HPA hops. I brought a hop that I'm very excited about.
Oh,
That's the one you should bring.
then me too.
Yes, yeah. Okay, so the USDA has a hop breeding program led by Dr. Kayla Altendorf in Prosser. She also works closely with other researchers elsewhere, but Kayla is the cool one. In Prosser, they have just recently released, public to the world to use, a new genetic testing process so that people, no matter what type of breeder you are, you can quickly decide or figure out if your hop is a male or a female before you plant it in the field. So especially in Washington, where they're really trying hard to make sure that there isn't any male plants nearby because of pollen, they will actually fertilize the other female plants and then you
Just
suddenly have a wild
indiscriminately?
hat. Yeah. There,
sounds
and then
like-
you get the
sounds
seed count
nice.
that's high in your female plants where the
You don't
hop
just turn
comes
it
from.
upside down to look at the bottom of it?
Yeah, I know. Right? Well, genetically, yes, that's actually what
Okay,
they're doing.
all right,
And so it's just really
Doug's like,
exciting.
damn it, that's valid.
Yeah, it's really exciting what they're doing, and I just love it. But then from that public hop breeding program, do you have scissors or keys or
Or a sharp pen.
does somebody have something sharp that wants to stab?
Who's got a knife?
I want to
So-
stab.
The Vista hops are from the USDA program. The branding for the Vista hops was created by M. Sauter of Pints and Panels, who's the coolest.
Yes.
So it's just everything about Vista hops just makes me so excited. Like the USDA hop breeding program, the team that Kayla has down there is just wonderful. I'm going to get up and start passing around hops if that's okay with everybody.
Totally.
So
So you can
I
start
can, like-
navigate or narrating my walk.
I remember
Yeah,
this
totally.
last year. This
I'm gonna.
This is going to get really aromatic. I apologize.
I can like smell this already. This is so intense already.
Yeah.
So I've seen. I feel like I've seen Vista used a couple of times, like, but I had no idea the actual background of the hop itself.
Yeah. Public breeding. Public breeding is where
Thank
it's
you
at.
for. All right. So public breeding program.
Yeah.
Okay. You guys want to smell some?
making a mess of the place here. Ron, we're making a mess of the place.
All right. I volunteer to sweep the room after this because it's going to smell amazing. Oh my god, that's incredible.
Seems like last time when we did
It's
this,
like, oh man, that's so good.
there was, yeah, we were rubbing them up here. Oops. God, what a mess. Well, even if you rip them up, they're still pretty mild, I think, aren't they?
They are, yeah. They're not like not crazy punchy. They're like very.
Yeah, let me put that back in there. Or most of them, some of them here. That's probably fine. I can move these.
Oh my gosh, they smell so good. Yeah, the whole room smells incredible right now. See, this is why you come and hang out for live shows.
Yeah.
No,
So
yeah,
what,
this is amazing.
Is there any touchstones from the touchstones that are peeking out to you right
Let me
now?
grab my sheet.
I'm getting herbal.
Herbal, okay.
Herbal for sure.
Sorry, I kind of blew out your noses with all the lime stuff, so any sort of review that you're going to hear today on the Vista hops are going to be biased.
There's like there's like woodiness too for sure.
I'm getting a little bit of grandpa.
Grandpa, okay.
That's weird.
That's your palms, Ron.
Is that the stack of rotting leaves plus like cigarette smoke or something?
Oh, I sincerely hope not. This is not a smoke taint here. So for me, actually, honestly, I get honey. Honey
you?
really came out really. Yeah, that sweetness, and then also melon. It's like a very honeydew, and
Sure, that kind of like,
Yeah.
what
but
else
like
is there?
ripe honeydew.
Yeah, very ripe honeydew.
Not like snappy, sharp honeydew. It's like honeydew that's like almost kind of flabby and
Yeah,
like going to be kind of sweet.
and candied roses.
Oh,
Does that make sense?
damn.
Yeah.
So elegant with that one.
Good. Yeah, super sweet rose. Almost baby powdery.
So I guess like was that Turkish delight? Isn't that rose kind of flavored?
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
When I think of like sweet floral, I always think of like hibiscus. Like
Hibiscus,
that's the
oh,
thing
yeah.
that like pops into my head. Even if it's not totally that, that's just like hibiscus flower and syrup. Like sweet floral character just reminds me of that.
And some folks get violets, candied violets. When they get sweet floral, they kind of gravitate to like if you ever use a like candied violet, like cough drops or something.
Oh,
like that, I think.
sure,
Yeah.
sure.
But yeah, so Vista, I'm a big fan of public hop. I'm just a huge beer enthusiast.
You're
actually
among family here, Ricky.
yeah. It's if we want to do another malt thing, I'm technically not a malt person, but I'll talk about malt all day. I love malt. Like, don't tell my bosses, but actually, malt was my original like love of raw materials. But
Do you have a malt? Do you have a malt sweater?
I do, right? I have. No, I
must.
don't technically. No, because because Link Malt, the folks at Link Malt are just the best. Same with Coldstream Malt. So like Brian Estes, the VP of Link Malt, and then Matt Horlacher of Coldstream Malt. They do this event every year called Grain Maker, and it's to celebrate the folks who are using craft malt and want to celebrate all that.
Yeah.
And I got to go last year, and it was the best weekend of my life. Like, it was so cool. Everybody there is so exciting and so neat. And barley research and barley breeding does not have nearly the amount of support that hops have.
No, it doesn't. And
Yeah.
it's been, we had Colin Harvin on.
Oh, yeah.
Not too far apart from your last episode, actually. And like we talked about that. And it's Alex from Upright has, I believe he was the one who quoted this, but I'll feel bad if I got it wrong. But he basically kind of like calls to question the entire craft beer world. And it's like, if you're a craft brewery, but you're not using craft products, are you really a craft brewery? And whether or not that term is even valuable at all. The idea that he's calling to question the small specialty nature of the malt producers, I think is like a really good question. And yeah, the malt side does not get as much love
No.
as it probably could.
They didn't have the Citra I mean, honestly, hops in so many ways, the Citra boom has changed the way, I mean,
That's
it's
so
obviously, it's like,
interesting.
at least this is my opinion, but I feel like lightning struck at just the right time because Citra was coming out right when Sierra Nevada was starting really pushing nationwide their IPAs. There was a lot of kind of synergistic things that happened that really made hops explode. And I feel like malt deserves that too. But
nobody does like a marketing campaign about like purple Egyptian barley.
Yeah. Well, and like I think
the way they did with Citra hops.
Have you had Campbell Morrissey Campbell Morrissey from Freem Brewing on yet? So Dr. Campbell Morrissey, I'm just going to go ahead and fangirl out on another person in the industry. Sorry, Tristan, you're not the only one. So Campbell is really freaking rad, but he recently finished his PhD from OSU in barley breeding. And so I honestly, please just have him on because he can speak so much more eloquently
if he is
on
listening,
this. Yeah.
Any day, bro.
Campbell, come on.
Any day.
But he was recently on the Brew Lab. So Cade
cool.
Yeah. So I've heard you guys mention the Brew Lab on here before. So Cade recently had Dr. Campbell Morrissey and Dr. Harmony Bettenhouse, I think, on talking about just all the difficulties that barley breeding has. It's a really interesting, nuanced problem that we as beer makers and beer drinkers really need to understand that moving forward, barley is going to be a very difficult crop to handle because of all the different climate interruptions that are happening, right?
Yeah.
And especially in America, barley as a crop is not going to be profitable unless it's going straight to the malt house. So a lot of growers don't necessarily want to grow it because if you sell it for feed, you don't even make back half of what you're selling it for, right?
Sure.
So, and there's also infrastructure issues too with trains and stuff like that. But and he could speak so much more eloquently to it in general, but barley is cool and I really like it.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah.
Bethany's like, oh my God, yes.
Yes. Yeah.
If we had time, we would do a part 2 just on more hops and barley.
Yeah.
I'm disappointed that we're already at an hour.
Yeah,
and some
just
change.
get Campbell on here next time and it'll be
Totally.
fun. Yeah.
Rikki, you're wonderful. We love you, and thank you so much for coming back.
having me. I really appreciate
this
it.
is awesome.
Cheers. Thank you guys.
I can't wait for part 3.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for listening. We'll see you next week.
All right, Grit and Grainers. Email us at cheers@gritandgrainpodcast.com with your comments, opinions, and another round of new hop names such as Wabi Sabi, Tavis, Swelsey, Simon and Garfunkel, Taco Bell Barbie, Dan Quayle, Crypto Bromath, selling my plasma, Les Schwab, and HBC 253. We read and drink everything we receive, and we try to respond as fast as we can. If not online, then on air. You can subscribe to Grit and Grain on Amazon, Apple Music, Spotify, Google Play, and iHeartRadio. And please leave us a review. Also, check us out on Channel 253 and gritandgrainpodcast.com. Be sure to follow us on Facebook and Instagram for episode notes, beer news, and updates from Las Vegas, where they have launched the world's largest Bud Light party ball. Yes, indeed, AB InBev repeatedly pours one out with virtual gallons of Bud Light donning the Vegas sphere, forcing Super Bowl fans on intimate tours of the inside of a full bottle of Bud Light. Spoiler alert, they bottled up the laughs. Because it's also too easy to get swallowed up by the macro when the human soul often prefers to find solace and beauty and refreshing human soul and titillation in the micro when pouring a pint of the best and finest economies of life.
There you go.
If this podcast is not what you expected, please alter your expectations. Happy New Year to all the astronauts. No such thing as a bad time to visit Tacoma. No such thing as too much barley wine. Tune in next Friday for more sweet chatter. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. Thanks, Rikki.
Happy New Year to the astronauts.
That's awesome. I was like, you had to think about that for a second.
Thanks again for tuning in. Don't forget to follow us at Grit and Grain Podcast wherever you get your social media and catch new episodes every Friday. Cheers.
Good up.
Channel 253 is member supported. I'm producer Doug Mackey, and I hope you will show your support by going to channel253.com/membership and join. Thank you. Grit and Grain is part of the Channel 253 podcast network. Check out our other shows: Nerd Farmer, Interchangeable White Ladies, Move to Tacoma, Crossing Division, Citizen Tacoma, What Say You, We Are Tacoma, Flounders B Team, and Taco Man.
This is Channel 253.